Ecliptic, Love's Circle Persona, Self-Love, Best Love, World Love. You knows my honor. Greetings, that be your host, JaMes Peter Bastien. Prosperity, power. It is my honor to share my affirmation, visualization, and unisons manifestation in all satisfaction. The mind, body, and soul is to grow in all facets. Presented in procreation, this is MB19 podcast show. May you be at peace in whatever the action is proclaiming, ascending the greatest of all satisfaction like your goal is a bullseye, your actions a dart. Believe in you, no matter the ending or the start. For your life, such precious life, must you claim it. I thought not to make an episode today, as today's episode title is no title. So I'm going to title today's episode to be March 17, 2025, or 3/17/25, however you want to proclaim such to be. The reason that there is no title for such because I realized that humility struck me while ambitions allured me down rather than lift me up, in a sense. Like the humility part is my growth, and that it's a blessing to be alive, you know. The breath itself is the success. And to a certain aspect, because I'm a very ambitious person, I sometimes could be demoralized within my own thought process among what I haven't accomplished based upon the standards that Mr. Bastien set for himself. So, although I've written either a title I had for today or different titles I could concept in breaking and decoding the conversation, but I felt it would be best for me to just let me speak, hear myself out. They say therapy, sometimes you need someone else. So rather than me placing a direct category or direct labels of what my brain should be fixating on speaking upon or discussing rather of different variations, I felt that, you know, since humility and ambition was the crash course that I'm facing currently, that I might as well just be honest with myself, right? On this beautiful day. Oh, wow, it is a holiday. So I guess to a certain aspect, I'll go ahead and 3/17/25, I'll put happy St. Patrick's Day as well, I guess, for a title. So there we have it. We have a reason. And for me, I don't have too much knowledge on such day, on such people, the island people. But I would bet my life that as what this defined to be, that again, hue is a different variation or different rays of colors, you know. So the hue-man comes in many different shapes, forms, and sizes. So the emotional aspect of being a human, I send to any island who's celebrating peace, prosperity, power, you know, sending you the joy and abundance for the love of humanity, not just for your country or your people, but your fellow brothers and sisters that's in humanity. May we get to a better place. May that we can find love, between the things that not necessarily we have in common, but we don't have in common. Because there's a love between opposition being a natural attraction, right? So yeah, that's my little spill from the perspective of St. Patrick's Day. Like I said, I know you wear green. I guess I don't know too much behind it. I'm not too much of a drinker to know, or not even just saying that from the drinking aspect. I know that's what comes with it a little bit, but just overall the cultural meaning or the reasoning why it's celebrated. I'll be a ignorant fool just to make something up, and neither to be transparent enough when I'm gonna research something just to sound smart. So grateful as thankful again. The breath is every level of step that we can take for what is deemed or to be defined as success. So I take this breath again with no specific topic or title. I think what was what held to me again with humility was that I just like some time where gratefulness can dethrone my excitement or my joy for life. I think the humility of life sometimes does that to anyone who lived to understand that you can't never be too high, right? While you can't never be too low. So I find myself in a mellow state. Give me another reasoning or title for today's episode. Just super mellow. I don't say that I'm not happy. I'm not saying that joyful. It's just a weird state, just truly humble and grateful in a lot of ways. And so yeah, for me in the humility aspect, um, knowing a couple of things like again, the idealization of me wanting to make more money and stuff like that. But just again being grateful that I can at this point in time pay my bills on time, that I can at this point in time have a pay rent and shelter me with with housing, should I say, transportation that is accessible enough for me to get back to point A to point B. So humility allows you to see that, right? And the opposition, while not necessarily ambition would be the opposition, but for me in this conversation, the opposition of what I feel face and feel in humility is such ambition, and my visions keep me up a lot. Say dreams, because I think dreams are some of the things that people see, but they can't fathom to happen to them. So realistically, for me, there's nothing that I can't visualize in a sense that's not um, capable or impactful to my life. And I think for me, that's my inspiration. I think for me, greatness is not something where just because somebody else does it doesn't affect me. Because I am a human. And like I said, with the I have so many fathers, I have so many mothers, I have so many brothers and sisters within this world, within this universe that I share because a part of those who were able to enchant greatness within their lifetime. I look I look I look I look in a lot of those as moments as to be me. So for me, being so ambitious or having that ability for myself to feel like there's no inability I feel my capabilities are set to what I think in my minds are incapable, are incapable or not. You know what I'm saying? So with that, it's a it's a drive, it's a cockiness that I don't presume everything to be assessed as how I want it to be or anything like that. But surely I have enough energy and godly dominance to feel I can command such visualization, such affirmation to be what I place in action by my thought process, which allude in visual to reality, relateful, should I say, manifestation. So, in all short, within my humility, I feel myself, you know, beaten up by my own self, beaten up by my own thoughts of like, you haven't done this, you haven't done that, you haven't accomplished this. You know, my assertiveness in my life amongst my value and my worth is something that I never experienced. It's something that I've never experienced or garnished from anyone else's perspective besides mine. So, like discipline, like dedication, love. Uh, my mind know these more than my body by flesh experience those by people, placing and things. So the accountability that my mindset was held as compared to the instability that my life provided me in my upbringing is it's a total counterpart. But I do think the instabilities of my upbringing were the development to my vision to know um, what sort of structure and stability that I must place forward for myself. It's a tough. I want to say in my evolution of my thought process, and what I revolutionized to me is that I can't do nothing but be excited about my visions. And sometimes as much as it could place fear in me or the feeling of like, damn, we gotta do so much or we wanna do so much. Young, but it's almost like why have it any other way? I'm not following anyone else, right? I'm not taking any anyone else's view of what life is regarding what success and failure is. So like being that like the world allowed me to follow my footstep in the sense of that if my footstep would lead me in wrong or what is said to be wrong, then I have myself to hold accountable, no one else. So I could never be mad about the pressure that's placed in this diamond that I held as to be in my mind, which is, that I can attune to what I claim. So, wow, what a beautiful day. And I think now I'm aware of why, I was going to say I think, but now I'm aware, which means I know to this moment why this episode was done. I didn't obviously again have a title or perspective behind it, but I know in my heart that it was about me rekindling So it's all that, like, we must be centered. We must recenter ourselves amongst, like, our emotions, amongst, like, the thoughts comes and go, but without actually taking that accountability and talk to yourself amongst how you really feel, the ups, the down, not running away from the ones that you have to encounter. And today was one of those feelings, uh, the stagnant feeling. I did not want to encounter that feeling in the sense of, like, you're grateful, you're alive, but in the same sense, you feel like you're not growing, you're not living up to your highest form, right? So a lot of us, in those moments, socially, for most people, they'll call that moments of boredom, right? Because you're not used to opening it up to yourself in those moments. So when it comes a time where, what's the word I'm looking for? When it comes a time where, uh, I just see the word, but I can't freaking form it. It's like doubt. I guess you can say doubt, like insecurity, right? That that lack of trust for what you're doing, where you're going with your life, and it's so easier to figure out what is said to be cool, what is said to be happy regarding people, places, and things. So it's easily for most people at that time where they have to question themselves, where they have to sit with their thoughts, right, the bad and good, and figure out why these thoughts are occurring. For most people, we run away from them, as we're taught, based on our possibly based on our social upbringing. Is that I go fill that void with something, again, by people, places, and things, and that's my potency, that's my power, honestly. It is, again, that humility of knowing that I could think. I'm grateful that I could think. It's the same destruction, like I said, from our position of, like, dang, uh, it's easier to be bad than good in a different way I could say it. It's like the thinker has to be the analyzer, right? The logical viewer, as those that's not defined or deemed to be thinkers. It's kind of like you do as you feel or you do as you please, and whatever called repercussion or circumstances come with it, they come with it, right? So it's a tough grasp for me because I'm looking at it out through a window and it gives me that viewership of life. A still moment can bring so much energy back to life. Same as a still moment can be drainful to life if life feel like it's not growing. So as I was stating, this conversation is really aimed for me because I'm aware of what the power of meditation is. I'm aware of what the power of giving your power out is. So what I mean by that is that although I can substitute things by people placing in things in my mind to either work right, to either, dare I say, distract me, right, to my own intuitive view amongst me being ambition, but at the same time humble, right? I can attempt to interact with people, whether it's through social standards of text, calls, or whatever, different social different method, what I'm saying, in-person conversations, so on and so forth, different activities, whether physical, mental, spiritual, you know what I'm saying, to elude such, but while running away from what my brain is thinking, what my spirit is deriving into emotional captured by time. You know what I'm saying? Like it is. These are my moments. These are my thoughts. So as I sit with these thoughts, I figure these thoughts out in meditation. Some thoughts you learn when you go sit with it that is nothing but bullshit. Dead ass. As much as you want to give your brain this overpowering, like, oh my god, my brain, I'm a smart person, say the dumbest thing to themselves, or think the stupidest thing, right? It's just the wisest person, the logical person, understand what's to be said, what's not to be said. So realistically, no matter how smart you is, the best IQ in the world and the lowest IQ, the brain cells of what is joke, what is serious, it differs for so many people, right? So as a doctor, where so many people be like, "Oh my God, this is some serious work." This is for them possibly a time where they'll get a little bit more comfortable, right? A little bit more jokier. Again, that's not to say this is a factual statement. Again, I'm just making a statement of our position merely goes into a lot of different variation of things in life. It's not one way to do anything by specification. Right? So, am I saying, and all that I'm saying, I would say rather I should say, and all that I'm saying is that I don't tend to place a void within my own thoughts. I understand my own thoughts sometimes are the thoughts of people, places, and things, right? The noise that's surround me, right? The visualization that's placed around me by those people, places, and things. So some things that I know that's potent to me, then I glimpse on, I gravitate, I keep a grip towards. And then there's some things that you're just going to hear, whether it's like the music that plays constantly over and over at your job, or when you listen to the radio, so on and so forth. You let it be as be, right? You understand that it's a sign of nature. And what I mean by that, it's a sign of the world. It's one of the things that, like, you have your own universe within your own body, right? But yet your body share earth with every other being. So yeah, in my own mind, I could be anywhere, anything. I do know I share earth with everybody else. So, like me, for example, I stay in an apartment complex. So my upstairs neighbors, me being on the second floor, affect my lifestyle because what their movements, or depending on how loud they want to be, right? I'm gonna have a part to their lifestyle affecting my lifestyle, but that's the physical, right? The earth lifestyle. But within me still is my universe lifestyle, whether how I react to such noise and so on and so forth. How I would let that go or keep it on to me is all upon me. It's not with my neighbors. You know what I'm saying? So in a lot of ways, that's kind of like within all spectrum of what I'm saying with this conversation is that, like, I found me by loving me, whether it's the good and bad. You know what I'm saying? In a day like this, as I'm sure you can hear through my vocalization and my tone, my voice, I'm not really too energetic, not too down. Just grateful, I'm thankful, and I'm super appreciative to be alive, to be breathing, and to that point, that's the beginning start of success. And with that ability to be breathing comes the ability for me to visualize, for me to act upon those things that I want to succeed or to create in procreation, in a sense, not just kids, but in life learn lesson, through the universe, the leg acronym from learn, earn, give. You know what I'm saying? So I have so much of that, so much of those things that I want to contract in regards to leaving an impact, or what can be defined as legacy in this world, in this society, that like I'm driven by that, you know what I mean? And I think the way I feel, honestly, is a lot of way where for some people that have a mind where they don't exceptionally decode their mind, this feeling can easily be jaded to be like depression. You know what I'm saying? Like me, this is like the most depressive I can be where I'm at in this state of mind. Like that humility and ambition mixing me up is like, I feel like that's the, like my energy right now, I feel like that's the lowest I can get. And it's not low. I know it's not low. I just, it's balanced. I think my energy, the lowest it can get is to like a balanced state, right? Because I feel like once you're under balance, no matter if you don't feel high or balanced, like once you go into low, low brings no good. It doesn't like no is like what I mean by that is that like let's say you got low circumstances currently, right? But you mindfully mind fuck yourself, or you mindfully trick yourself, manipulate, whatever you want to say in terminology of right, of switching that to a high, right? Whether it's a perceptional lie, but naturally that high vibration of positivity can affect that negativity, right? So what I'm saying is having a low moment and staying in low vibration and low negativity, then essentially it brings more negativity. It doesn't alternate positive. You know what I'm saying? Like positivity affects negativity. Negativity doesn't change negativity. It decreases it more. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get it twisted. Negativity can affect positivity. Like, if you're a positive person around negativity, yeah, you can be affected. But your positivity also have a better hindsight than the negativity, right? So if you're in a positive notion and somebody bring a negative aspect, because you're in a positive notion, you're going to look at it in the bright side first. As compared, if you're naturally already in a negative notion and get introduced back to a negative circumstances, it's easily to contract into the negative viewership or whatever was presented to you. You know what I'm saying? So for me, my depressed state would be humility. You know what I'm saying? Like just being humble amongst that. Like I am a king. You know what I'm saying? But I can easily be a peasant, because not to say I am a peasant, not to say I am a king. It's to say that any levels or any state of mind, state of being, of living and existing, of being a man, the richest man, the poorest man, I can be. So that's the humility to what I mean by that. That's the balance that I can exist to understand that like there's a lot I want to do, but within this world, the world sometimes call individuals to do certain specific things, certain people to receive certain blessings or benefits as compared to not be as much for others and so on, right? Like my ambition is that I can do all, but I'm aware that some may not be. And for that, to understand that some may not be, comes to humility and the humbleness to understand that that's the way that life goes. You know what I'm saying? Like for me to complain about my height, that I'm a short guy, is 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 something I can do, right? For me to consider myself short. If I'm 6'1", I'm 6'1", right? So let's say I'm considering myself short because I want to be 6'5" and taller, right? But as opposed to a guy that's 5'3", 5'5", whatever it is, right? And let's say his goal was to be my height. He's going to consider me, unappreciative, however he want to view it. But realistically, that's the sort of the thing about the diversity that life presents in itself. That blessing and curses is all spectrum of perspective. There both really is, and back to again, the universe works in mysterious ways. Again, having no reasoning behind making a podcast today, besides just let my spirit speak freely. I found the reasoning still, and that still goes to me to educate. You know what I'm saying? And my balanced time, that would be defined as my lowest time. I still can find greatness to say that my humbleness doesn't take away from anybody else's ambition or ability to say you can do it all, right? If I was to socially defined to be a failure amongst what was said or done, right, amongst a situation, that doesn't hinder me to tell anyone else who attempt to do the same as that I attempt to do that. Hey, you're an automatic failure. Hey, that you can't do it because I didn't do it. And I think that's where we go wrong in a lot of ways in society. We like to hinder people or advise people of their success and limitation amongst what we feel like we can or capable. And that's super improper because all of us have great capabilities. You know what I'm saying? In reality, none of us know our incapabilities. Whether that person is your parent or not, nobody knows your incapabilities. But your capabilities is limitless. We see the greatest of the greatest when we see love is profound, when we see passion, we see dedication, we see commitment, providing in such thing place, right? Or person, should I say, such people, place, or thing. I love, and I'm not the best lover. I'm still learning to love myself unconditionally. You know what I'm saying? And conversation like this is the only way I can get better. Conversation amongst that. Sometimes I wanna just be angry because I have reason to be angry. But my spirit, my mind is too beautiful. My mind is too bright. My spirit too joyful to just delay my peace because I feel frustrated with life. And the mixture of that, like I said, come because I'm ambitious. I know there's better days that I can create, that I will create, and I'm humble that to understand by humility that things could be a lot worse. You know what I'm saying? So why make it worse with my thought process, and why you as curses without seeing the blessings? Yeah. So for all that you're going through and will be going through, may you understand too. For whatever you're going through, may you not may you, but you are capable to utilize the next moment, the next day, and so on to be as you feel it to be. So what is the failure if God forbid there was a sickness that came into your life? And the sickness may alternate your physical abilities, mental abilities, so on, but are you gonna not accept the ability that you succeeded because the breath still exists? Right. So again, spectrum of perspective. Uh, I'm a sending peace for us all to look at better ways that we win throughout our days. Not necessary to look into the failures. or not even define them to be failure, but to look into the lessons, right? And how you adjourn such lessons, being accountable to the lesson. If I could point a finger at someone else, I could point it at myself. You know what I'm saying? And being acceptable to that viewership ways. With that being said, I think this is where I have to wrap it up because silence is calling me. Silence as my home to be is calling me home, which is just to keep working. Maybe I get into some writing, maybe some calisthenic workout, but just settling out. I'm so appreciative that I don't. I know there's a lot of needs in my mental, a lot of wants for my desires, but I could humbly remove these ambitions at this moment because I'm living and I'm taking a moment to breathe through it. You know what I'm saying? So this conversation is my meditation session. This is my therapy. Not fighting the odds, you know what I'm saying? Not fighting the evens, you know what I'm saying? The right or wrong. Just appreciative of the gray, having understanding of my inner understanding. You know what I'm saying? Not fighting being liked or being loved, but just appreciating myself unconditionally. So with this therapeutic session, I send the same to you. You know, unconditional love. We all working we all work in progress, and so don't be too hard on yourself. Don't be too low on yourself. If you expect shit from yourself, then that's your value. If you expect gold from yourself, understand that expectation comes with hardship. Understand that it comes with you yourself sometimes feeling alienated with your own thoughts of why you don't feel worthless, why you feel so worthless, and high expectations come with that. You know, so always be in a balanced state of mind among what's your true worth and value amongst your actions that aligns with your thought process. Grateful as thankful. You are love at your best. So when you look in the mirror, no one's under or above. You the balance of the life that you live, the God and Goddess and commandment. You are the fruit that you give. So what you laboring, what you growing, what you sleeping, what you implanting is what you believe in. Peace, prosperity, power. I am JaMes Peter Bastien. It's been another episode of MB9T Podcast Show. Grateful as thankful.